What happens if you break up after you apply for a flat? Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl and I'm a Senior Estate Manager with HDB. I'm involved in the preparation of sales launches, so we take care of our customers from the point they submit an online flat application to the point that they collect the keys to their new flats. To help you make that decision, we have at least 4 key considerations that you will need to take note of. Firstly would be the waiting time, right? So for BTO, generally the waiting time is about 3 to 4 years for the project to complete. And for resale flat, the entire transaction takes about 8 weeks. Second one would be the lease period that you're buying. So if you're buying a BTO flat, you are essentially buying a fresh 99-year lease. And if you were to buy a resale flat, then it would mean that you are buying the balance lease of the said flat. Thirdly would be on income ceiling. If you're buying a BTO flat, there is a $14,000 income ceiling for families. For resale flat, there is none. So last but not least would be the grants that you may be eligible for. For BTO flats, you may receive up to a maximum of $80,000, and for the purchase of a resale flat, you could receive up to $160,000. Things like flat attributes. So we look at the size of the flat, the orientation of the unit, as well as story height. We also look at project location, whether your flat is located in the mature or non-mature estates, proximity to amenities, town centres, as well as transport nodes. We also take into account prevailing market conditions. We try to make our flats very affordable for Singaporeans, and that is why our BTO flats are priced substantially lower compared to the comparable resale flats. Usually our advice to them is really quite simple, as easy as ABC. On A, which is your ability to pay, they need to first and foremost establish what is a comfortable amount that they are willing to pay for their monthly mortgage installment. So they need to look at things like, for example, their current income, their expenses. So on B, which is the budget for your new flat. So this means how much resources financially do you have in order to buy a new flat. You also need to bear in mind other miscellaneous fees such as your stamp fees and your conveyancing fees. You add that up together, that will constitute your total purchase price. You will need to pay the conveyancing fees when HDB acts for you in the purchase and sale of your flat. By right, you're supposed to get a solicitor to do it for property transactions. So how to work out this budget would essentially means looking at 4 things. So firstly would be your CPF ordinary account savings, the grant amount that you're eligible for, housing loan amount that you have been granted, and last but not least would be your available cash savings. And last but not least, C, on securing a credit. Securing a credit means to secure a housing loan from either HDB or from the banks. The loan amount that you are granted, they usually look at current income, your age, as well as your current financial standing. And as a general rule of thumb, 25% of your income is a good gauge to make towards your monthly mortgage payment. Hello, that's not true. That's a common misconception that our applicants usually have. Whatever grant that you have been given does not need to be returned to the government when you sell your flat in future. In fact, all the CPF monies, including the CPF housing grants that were given to you previously, will be refunded back into your CPF account with interest. You can then use this CPF monies towards the payment of your next property, healthcare or retirement needs in future. To be honest, our balloting timeline has already been halved from 6 weeks to 3 weeks. There are still other things that we need to do within these 3 weeks. We check eligibility for the applications received. We also have to ensure that the allocation quotas, for example, household status of the application, whether it's a first-timer, second-timer, we also take into consideration ethnic integration. We try and advise our applicants to really think through this decision and plan their flat purchase carefully, or else there could be financial forfeiture. Say for example, they may actually lose out on the down payment that they have paid and other miscellaneous fees that they have paid when they booked the flat previously.